Hello guys. Hello. Narinig niyo ako? Hello. Narinig niyo ako guys? Hello
Hindi,
guys.
hindi ko makita yung comment mo, mahal. Hindi. Kailangan ko makita yung comment mo para ma-add kita as moderator.
Narinig niyo ba ako guys? Oh, very good. Bumili ako popcorn. Bumili ako
Lugi per mahal
popcorn.
sa'yo. Hindi ko talaga makita, mahal.
Oh.
Wala siya.
Rinig din si Gabe. Mamaya mawawala yan kasi sa kanya yung kukunin natin eh. Mamaya mawawala tong mic ko ha.
11 minutes
Pero,
left, ladies and gentlemen. 8 minutes na lang po.
ito,
Si Ishi po talaga yung kalaban ko sa debate. Ishi. No? Ayan. Anong pinaniniwalaan mo, Ishi?
oh, let's go, let's
Ang dami
go.
biglang mahal sa comment section.
Mag-ask na ako. Yan.
Ishi, huwag kang makikipag-away, ha? Baka
Yan.
ikaw yung makipag-away. Hintayin lang po natin. Baka nagpe-prepare lang.
Uy, nag-request na ako. Naka-request na ako. Ha? Ano, naka-request na ako. Di ba? Oh, nag-comment pa ako. Dito na misan na you. Ay. Dito na misan na you.
Good evening.
Ayun. Good evening. Wala akong camera, Gabe dahil
No problem, sir.
lang
No,
ko dito eh. Pero meron akong camera doon sa live ko.
no problem. No problem. You're good.
Kasi cellphone to eh. Hindi ko alam kung paano yun sa desktop eh. Hindi ko alam yun eh.
You're good. Alright, hintayin lang natin yung isa. Oo, si Kayo yung isa nating magiging opponent for today's live. Tonight's live, actually. Mag-mute lang ako saglit. Please, moderators, be proactive with with muting the toxic comments.
Nawala mic ko?
Ay, hindi. Naririnig ka naman, sir. Nanggugulo lang mga yan. Ayan. Please be proactive with muting the comments para lang din ma-maintain natin yung positive atmosphere.
Gabe, tama lang ba na hindi talaga ako naririnig sa live mo ngayon?
Naririnig ka, sir. Naririnig ka.
Hindi yata eh.
Hindi, dinig ka, sir.
Hindi, parang sa inyo lang yata ako naririnig pero hindi do sa
No.
chat mo.
Dinig po kayo. Dinig kayo, sir.
O, ba't hindi rin naririnig? Ba't yun?
Yeah.
Mahina. Okay, so lalapit ko yung sige, lalapit ko na lang ganyan.
Hindi naman din mahina, sir. Malakas naman po.
Meron na. Baka meron na mahina. Sobrang hina. Okay na to. Sige, ano ko.
Dahil medyo malakas yung pickup ng mic ko, sir, kapag magsasalita kayo, mag-mute na lang ako para hindi mag-e-echo.
Ay, hindi raw ako rinig sa live ko. Teka. Wait. Nakamit ba to? Hindi naman. O yan, sige. O yan. Okay na. In-adjust ko yung volume. Okay na guys?
Dinig ka naman, sir, magmula kanina.
Doon lang sa din sa live ko daw yata hindi ako rinig.
Okay. Copy. Wait lang.
Guys,
Try mo nga
ako pwede mag-double mic kasi magpapatong yung delay eh. Naka-mic ako dito ng live tapos naka-mic ako doon sa cellphone so magdo-doble. Dinig na kayong dalawa. O yan, okay na yan. Delayed video mo. Oo nga kasi nga, may delay nga kasi. Yung video ko kasi dito, gets niyo ba?
Sir Kayo, i-mute mo na kita habang nagkikipag-engage ka dyan sa mga followers mo, ha? Thank you. Ang gwapo daw ng moderator. Ba't ang yummy daw ng moderator natin?
Napakit lang ako dito, guys. Kaya ganyan ako. Ano nakikidjoin? Hindi ako nakikidjoin. May bayad si Gabe sa 30k.
May TF po yan siya sa pagmo-moderator niya. 10,000 halik.
Si Dwight Ramos pala ang moderator. Yes.
Hinintay lang din natin yung isa. And then we can start. 3 minutes. May side quest si Ishi.
So, side quest tayo, guys. Wala tayong magawa.
Ishi, just be mindful with the time limit, even for me. Kapag sumusobra ako sa oras or kapag hindi nabibigyan ng chance makapagsalita, please stop me whenever you could. Alright.
Paano kung ganito?
No, I have been very clear about my stance about that person. I think I've said this in multiple lives. Kaya nandyan si Sir Kayo, naririnig niya. I think Kayo is the type of uncle you could go out and grab a drink with, coffee with. Ayan, andyan na si yung isa.
Yan, okay, ganyan.
Let's go!
Tagasigaw.
O sige, ganito na lang.
There you go.
I-unmute na kita, Sir Kayo.
G.
Alright, I think
Turn on
we can start on time. Nice.
Alright.
Ayan.
Asan na yung mukha ni Pinoy Extreme?
Andito ako, Chong.
Gusto ko yung mukha mo, pre. Hindi, joke lang. Sige, game.
Okay lang.
Oh.
Okay lang. Ang importante marinig tayo, Chong.
Sige. Let's go.
I mean, if you could open up your camera, mas okay, mas maganda. Para kita tayo ng mga tropa pips nating nanonood. Sayang, balita ko, bagong gupit ka pa naman.
Hindi ko nga gusto yung gupit niya eh. Kaya gusto ko nga sa kumampi na lang sa'yo, Gabe eh.
Okay, sige.
Let's go.
Alright, let's do this. Ishi, do you mind reading the rules of the debate?
Okay. So, nadidinig naman ako doon, ha?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yung topic natin about, sabi ng Gabe, women's clothing and its relation to being sexually harassed. It will go both sides. Gabe will give his claims in relation to the topic. Then, both of you have 5 minutes to respond to Gabe's claim. Then, after both opponents have given the response, we'll proceed to the rebuttal phase that will go for 5 minutes. It's open to go back and forth and repeat until all claims has been said. So 5 minutes, then the rebuttal is 5 minutes. And yung rebuttal natin, there's no limit. So as long as you have something to say. So,
Wait. Clarification lang. Ano yung title nung
it's about women's clothing and its relation to
No,
being
what about it? Parang, can you form it into a question?
Ikaw, Gabe, ano yun?
Basically, kung ano yung pinag-go back and forth namin ni Pinoy Extreme for all this time, na basically umiikot siya dun sa kasalanan ba ng babae pag binabastos siya, kapag depende kung anong suot niya. So women's clothing and its relation to being sexually harassed, does it help it, does it not help it, everything about that.
So hindi yung topic natin is women's clothing a factor in sexual harassment?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. Yeah.
So,
Pwede na
would you agree with that kind of title? So, yes or no, ganon?
Ano yan, sorry?
So, pwede ba natin palitan yung title as Is Women's Clothing a Factor in Sexual Harassment?
Para lang may affirmative tsaka
Oo,
may...
para
Okay,
alam
sige.
natin yung affirmative
Yeah,
tsaka negative.
I guess for formality's sake, I think we could call it that.
Okay. Got it.
Alright. Okay, just to further clarify, baka hindi rin na-gets ng mga nanonood natin. We currently have 9,300 viewers now. Hello po sa lahat ng mga nanonood ngayon. My name is Gabe. Isa po ako sa mga content creators na lalahok sa ating debate. Kasama ko ngayon sa ang ating mga ginoo na si Kayo, Kamatis Analysis Unit at si Pinoy Extreme. We will be talking about women's clothing and its relation to you being sexually harassed as women. Or sexual harassment in general. So for my first claim, that we... For my first claim and the claims coming afterward, meron pong 5 minutes each ang bawat opponents natin to respond, to dissect, to pick apart, to debunk the claim that I will give. And after their 5 minutes is up, 5 minutes each, we will go to the rebuttal phase kung saan mapapag-usapan natin yung mga sinabi nila tungkol sa claims natin.
Okay.
Ayan. If pwede, kasi si Kayo hindi ata siya makakapag-open cam kasi naka-open cam siya sa kabila niyang live. Nire-request ng mga nanonood natin na mag-open cam daw yung isa sa inyo para lang daw
Dalawa lang
makita-
naman kami dito, Gabe. Grabe naman.
para makita ang napakagwapong pagmumukha. Ayan, sayang naman.
Pinoy Extreme, mag-ano ka na. Sige na.
Nahihirapan
Pag malaki mo na yung haircut mo.
Nagloloko yung nagloloko yung app ko. Wait lang. Huwag nyo,
Nakapag-on cam ka naman nung last time, diba?
hindi, medyo inaayos ko kasi baka lumipat ako sa mobile. Sige, try ko nga. Wait lang.
Diba nasa PCR?
Sige,
Wait,
I mean,
pwede
give
ka
you time.
mag-PC
We'll give
dito?
you time. Pwede.
Pwede, kaso nahihirapan ako kanina actually.
Pwede ko bang malaman kung paano yun? Pwede ba ako lumipat? Kasi nangangalay na ako sa phone ko.
Ilan yung followers mo dito, Sir Kayo? Alam ko may limit ang may certain number of followers para makapag-TikTok live studio ka.
Nasa
So,
400 yata ngayon. Hindi
Baka
pwede.
hindi pa pwede.
Okay,
Baka
sige.
hindi pa
Pabayaan mo
pwede.
na siya.
Okay.
Okay na yan.
Sige. I think we can hear you very clearly naman. At saka naka-live ka naman din ata sa kabila. Hintayin lang din natin si Pinoy Extreme bago siya para makapag-open cam siya. Let's give him time.
Yan.
Ayan. Uy. Guwapo ah. Sarap ah.
Pogi ah.
Okay. Para lang din maging clear sa lahat, kasi nag-e-echo yung mga sinasabi nila since naka-on yung mic ko, medyo malakas yung input gain. Kapag kasi hininaan ko, baka walang marinig. Mag-mute ako after ko magsalita to give space to the opponent to speak para walang echo din. Okay? Alright, for my first claim, claim number 1. Telling women what to wear is just control hidden behind the guise of concern. Telling women what to wear is just control hidden behind the guise of concern.
Okay. Ano, kahit sino pa pwede sumagot dyan?
Pag-usapan nyo na lang, Sir Kayo, kung sino.
Sige, ako na lang muna. Unang-una, it doesn't follow, no? Kasi, yung sinasabing telling women what they should wear is actually goal-oriented. So, unang-una, like for example, kapag ka sinasabi mo may risk factor na ma-sexually harass ka at night and with that kind of clothing, okay, as a risk management, you shouldn't wear that. But, if you want to attract, like a hooker, you want to attract men para sa customer mo, you should wear revealing clothing. So, it's actually goal-oriented and focused. So, you cannot argue either side. So, ang issue ko lang doon is it doesn't follow. Yeah, I'm good.
You still have time, Sir Kayo. I wish you could maximize
Okay.
your time.
So,
Sayang-
if I
sayang.
still have time, ngayon, kasi ang question dito is, the title is women's clothing a factor in sexual harassment? So, I don't think Gabe would deny na it is happening in reality. I think kaya nga siya nagkakaroon ng advocacy na ganito yung gawin. Kasi may mga tao na they think that way. So, if he agrees na there are people who think that way, then it implies that it's happening in reality. Ngayon, ang point lang namin dito is it is actually happening in reality So, regardless of what the women should and should not wear. So, you have to agree first na it is happening in reality. Whether it is bad to wear that or it's not bad kasi ang issue ko dito is you're trying to conflate is and ought eh. We cannot derive an ought from an is. Is it happening in reality na may mga na sexually harassed because of the revealing clothing, they disrespect the women because of that? Yes. If it's yes, okay, that's it. So, kapag pinag-usapan natin yung what ought to be done, well, may problema na tayo doon kasi not because it is happening in reality, then we ought to do this or ought not to do that. Hindi pwede yon. So, you're conflating two things ng kung ano yung fact tsaka ano yung value. So, I guess, kailangan muna natin malaman kung agree ba si Gabe na it is happening in reality. I think I'm good.
Alright, thanks Sir Caio. Let's proceed with Pinoy Extreme and his time.
Okay. Now, the first claim, telling women what to wear is just control. Now, the first question is, what are we trying to control? Are we controlling the effects of the dress towards the person who's going to perceive the dress? Kasi yung dress kasi is more of like a perception ng ibang tao na makakakita sa tao. Katulad nga nung sinabi ni Caio na ano yung goal mo in dressing. Now, kailangan din ma-identify tuon sa ano ba yung gusto mong kontrolin doon sa pagde-dress mo. Like for example, yung example ni Caio kanina na if you want to attract people sexually, edi magsuot ka ng hooker dress. If you want to attract people in a smart manner, you could dress in a smart casual, or if you want to basta dress has
Nakamute
dress
ako,
has
guys.
a purpose, and
Ano ka ba
there
naman?
might be like an unwanted effect on some dresses. Like for example, isa sa madalas na sinasabi dyan sa dress, hindi ko naman intention yung ma-attract sila sexually, but katulad din ng sinabi ni Caio kanina, we are deriving from, or we are getting what should versus doon sa what is. Yun yung result ng dress sa kanila eh. So we need first to identify ano yung gusto nating kontrolin doon sa pagsasabi natin kung ano ba yung gusto nilang suotin. So that's my answer to that first claim. I'm good.
Alright, thank you both for your first claims. I just wanna make a clarification just so that I understand where you're coming from. Ang sinabing first example ni Caio is if you're a hooker, you should dress more revealingly to attract customers, right? So I think I want to understand, do you think of women as not hookers but who dress revealingly as hookers?
I don't think so. That's not what my claim was. My claim was yung sinasabi ng telling women what to wear is just control hidden behind the guise of concern. I disagree with that proposition because sabi ko nga yung ought to do and ought not to do is actually goal-oriented o goal-dependent. So it depends on your goal on what you should and should not wear. So hindi ko sinasabi which one is correct, which one is right. I'm not saying that kasi nga I cannot derive an ought from an is. Kung ang nangyayari sa ang phenomena na nangyayari is there are people who actually associate yung revealing clothing as do sa mga hookers, then I cannot control that. It's just happening in reality, so I cannot control that. So hiwalay, kailangan natin ihiwalay yung is tsaka yung ought. What ought to be done is separate from what is happening. So if you agree that it is happening, so hindi natin kayang i-derive on what ought and what ought not to be done. Kasi the idea here is is clothing, women's clothing, a factor in sexual harassment? And our position is a yes. So I think that's it. That's all.
Okay.
Parang I'm still confused.
All right. Sige, I think we can come to a better understanding once I give. I don't think it's a rebuttal, but it's more like a question. I think to start, Albert Einstein poses that doing insanity means that doing the same thing over and over again, expecting the same results. And I would argue that men, or even women in general, have been telling women what to wear ever since before you and I were born. Ang dami ng mga tao, not even content creators, but like society in general have been telling women what to wear for centuries even. And we can argue that if, sige, you keep saying that it happens in reality, let's look at what the reality has in store for victims of sexual harassment. And this is not just exclusive to women. 97, I could be wrong, you can fact check me on this. 97% of sexual harassment cases does not happen outside but inside the homes or near the homes. Women who report that they were sexually harassed were not harassed outside the homes. Ibig sabihin po nun, yung mga taong nahaharas, hindi po sila nahaharas sa labas ng mga bahay nila, kundi mostly sa loob o malapit sa bahay nila. And 97% of these sexual harassment cases were done by perpetrators who already know women. So yung mga kakilala na ng mga babae ang nagiging direct perpetrators natin dito. So it doesn't really make sense to keep saying that the reality without actually looking what reality states. Realistically speaking, women get harassed not even outside or not even by strangers or criminals. They are harassed by their fathers, by brothers, by cousins, by their co-workers, by people they know. And this is statistics and data does not lie. So, para sa akin, hindi lang po siya nagme-make sense na we keep telling women what to wear and what to do and expect them to think that it's concern. I have a question. Do you both understand women's struggles better than them?
Okay, pwede ba ka magtanong sa moderator? When do we ask Gabe?
We can go back and forth freely po dito sa
Okay. Okay.
rebuttal phase.
Wait.
My question is
Oh.
so that we can better establish the conversation.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that you understand women's struggles better than them?
Of course not.
All right, perfect.
So ngayon,
do you
okay,
know-
let me ask a question.
I have a follow-up question, sir.
Okay.
Now that we can agree that we men do not really understand what women go through on a daily basis, do you understand how men think?
No, of course not. Not all of them.
No, like men in general. I think there are a lot of people from your community stating that the reason why they push for these agendas is because they are concerned with their women in their lives because they know how men think.
Again. I'm sorry, Gabe, but I think you should answer first. Do you disagree that it's happening, the sexual harassment because of the
No.
clothing? Are you denying that that's happening in reality?
According to UN, 1 in 3 women get harassed and there is no positive correlation between what you're wearing and how you're sexually harassed. According to UN, CDC, RAIN, National Sexual Assault Coalition, and many more studies, there is no positive correlation between what you're wearing and how you're sexually harassed.
So, okay.
Just a minute.
Wait, hang on. So, who are you calling out then? If this is not happening in reality, and there are people na nagsasabi
I'm not
na
saying that
because
it's
of the
not
revealing
happening in
clothes.
reality, sir. I'm not saying that it's not happening in reality.
So you are
In fact,
agreeing
there
it is happening.
It is happening, but not in the magnitude that you're thinking of because there is no positive correlation in any major studies made by global institutions such as CDC, UN, stating that there is a positive correlation between what you're wearing and how you're sexually harassed. There is no positive correlation between that.
No. But
In fact,
what you mean is there's no
help me
direct,
finish,
right?
sir.
There's no direct.
Help me finish. So I can answer your point better. In fact, even in conservative countries such as Egypt, 90% of women who reported that they were sexually harassed were wearing conservative clothes.
Exactly.
In fact, in other countries where they were wearing conservative clothes, hijabs, Muslim clothing, Muslim
Yeah.
clothing, wait lang, napause ako. Muslim clothing, there have been cases of underreporting, not because they are wearing conservative clothes, but there is shame in reporting as well. So we cannot really dispel these major institutions that do this research and say that it's happening in reality at rates that we think they are. They are happening. Yes, we can come to an agreement with that.
Okay, then we're
But
done.
however, mahirap siyang sabihin na hindi siya ginagawa out of control because data clearly suggests that there is no positive correlation on how you're kung paano ka nasi sexually harass at kung anong suot mo.
I'm sorry, I disagree with the positive correlation. There is a positive correlation, but there's no direct causation. Those are two different things, right?
Are you disagreeing with the studies made by CDC?
No, no,
and
no.
UN?
Let me give you a research, a pure research. Yung sinasabi mo sa conservative countries, right? The religious countries side. Okay,
Yes, sir.
let's remind ourselves the topic. Is women's clothing a factor in sexual harassment? Our position is yes. Why? You fail to see the contextual, the nuances in there. Okay, alam mo yung idea ng tall poppy syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the tall poppy syndrome is kapag ikaw mismo ay ano ba 'yon? Ano ba tawag doon? Parang nag-set out ka sa crowd. Okay, na ikaw ay nagmukhang unique, right? So, ngayon yung sinasabi mo, the reason why in that country, sa religious country na 'yon is religious country. Then no. Yung sinasabi mong 'yon sa pure research is nandun siya sa more on two not too religious and too religious. Kailangan mo punta sa two extremes, right? So ngayon,
It's Egypt a conservative country?
hang on. Pagtapusin mo muna ako, Gabe. Kasi sa pure research na sinasabi mo, sa pure research yan eh. Yung sinasabi mong yan is it dependent on the country. Like for example, kung religious country, yung country na yon, the risk is on the revealing clothes. Okay. So ngayon, kapag hindi religious, so kapag secular yung country, okay, the problem now becomes yung too conservative is being harassed now there. So, if we go to the extreme to the extremes, now the question is clothing, women's clothing, a factor? And the answer is yes, right?
Sorry, I'm really not following, sir.
Okay.
I'm trying my best to follow. But,
Okay,
but
yung sa
I think
research na
you're
sinasabi
going
mo,
on so
Gabe.
many tangents.
Yung sa research na sinasabi mo, di ba
Yeah,
context dependent
it's
siya?
a well-peer-reviewed study by UN and
Yeah.
CDC and RAIN stating that there is no correlation or causation
No.
even
Doon lang tayo sa ano.
in women's clothing and how you're sexually harassed. In
No.
fact, like I said, in country, I'm gonna give you a proper example so that I can, dial down and,
No.
we can focus
Ano, Gabe,
instead
balik mo
of
tayo
going
doon sa
on
ano.
tangents.
Balik mo tayo doon sa sinabi
For
mo kanina.
example, in a country like Egypt, sir,
Correct.
in a country
Oh.
like Egypt where it's widely believed that it's conservative and they wear conservative clothing, 90% of women who have reported that they were sexually harassed, they were wearing conservative clothes. So, what's the point of telling women what to wear if they are going to get sexually harassed in the first place?
Again,
In fact,
we're not talking
I
about
would argue
telling them what
I
to
would
do.
argue that help me finish her and then I'm going to help you finish. I would argue that talking about women's clothing is utterly pointless and saying that it's a factor because it's proven that in centuries, regardless of the timeline, women have been getting harassed across all boards,
Yeah.
across all
Not-
religious
not in
sectors,
dispute.
across every type of community. So to think that clothing is indeed a factor would be, illogical because that we have clear studies stating that there is no positive correlation and causation between you as a woman dressing the way that you are and getting sexually harassed. Why? Because again, 97% of sexual harassment cases does not even require any form of, as Pinoy Extreme would put it, opportunity para sa pananamit. Because they are sexually harassed not outside, not by strangers, but inside their homes. 97%. They are harassed inside their homes and by people that they know. We classify this as the fathers, brothers, cousins, classmates, and teachers, co-workers, people that they know. So if clothing was indeed a factor, wouldn't we be seeing decline sa sexual harassment cases kung paulit-ulit nating inuulit yung strategy na dapat ganiting isuot mo because there is a risk na magaganito ka? And I don't honestly understand the point of us men telling women what to wear. Hindi naman nga natin naiintindihan yung
I'm sorry,
struggle nila
Gabe,
in
pero
the first place.
it seems to me that you're trying to stick with your script. We're not talking about on what they should wear or should do. We're talking about an is.
But that's the point of the debate in the first place.
No,
sir.
what is the
were you
title?
not informed?
Wait lang po. Wait lang po. Di kasi
Wait lang.
nasa
Wait lang.
context, so-
Let me
Yes,
just
Ishi.
let me just
Sir,
explain yung
papagsalitaan mo yung moderator.
moderator ba 'yon? Ah, sige. Kala ko si Pinoy Extreme.
Nawawala po kasi tayo sa format na
Okay.
5 minutes, 5 minutes. So, Gabe, is that all you want to say?
I think we can give time to Pinoy Extreme to speak. I think
No.
sige.
Wait, hang on. Hindi clear ang kailan kami pwede magtanong kay Gabe.
Okay. Ganito, okay. So, ngayon 5 minutes tayo sa rebuttal now. We're gonna be strict with the time, okay? So, 5 minutes. If sino gusto mo na magsalita?
Rebuttal
sige.
meaning si Gabe naman yung sasagot? Ganun ba?
No. It's your time. It's your time.
rebuttal
for the
phase,
rebuttal.
Sir Gaio, we can go back and forth. But unfortunately, we have taken up so much time. So I think we can
Oo.
extend 3 minutes for Pinoy Extreme to say his case. Para lang din meron siyang platform to speak.
Sige.
Okay, so hindi pa ako nag-rebuttal after na ng Pinoy Extreme, ganun ba?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so,
Wait lang. Pauunahin ko si Kayo para maituloy niya yung gusto niya.
Okay,
Kasi,
okay.
pauunahin ko si Kayo.
okay, let's stick with the format now, okay?
After magsalita ni Gaio, we could proceed to claim number 2.
Okay, 5 minutes, okay? So, go game.
Okay, this is my claim. Again, Gabe keeps repeating that we shouldn't talk about what women should do and what women should not do, but that's not the topic. The topic is it a factor in sexual harassment?
It's not.
Hang on, akala ko ba, paano ba? Conversational, ano ba to?
Pa-off mic muna, Gabe.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so it is not about what women should do and should not do. I just gave an example na hindi pa ni-rebut. Na if a woman, kasi nga yung ought to do is actually goal-oriented, goal-dependent. For example, kapag ikaw ay gusto mong mag-attract ng customer as a hooker, of course, one of your strategies is actually magsuot ng revealing clothes. Simple. Kapag gusto mo naman makaiwas kung gusto mong para man gusto mo ng risk management na ma-sexually harass ka, unang-una, hindi ka lalabas ng gabi. Because majority of the harassment happen at night. Okay, yan ay factor lang din. Yung nighttime is factor lang din. Yung dress, yung clothing is also a factor. So ngayon, hindi ko alam kung bakit, sabi naman ni Gabe, he agrees na it's happening in reality. So if it's happening in reality, I think the debate is done. Why? Because you already agreed it's happening. Kasi kung sasabihin mo, kasi napaka-awkward ng position mo, Gabe. Kasi ang awkward na position mo, you keep calling out these people na sinasabi mo, ba't kayo ganyan mag-isip, sexually harass yung mga babae because of their clothing. Pero at the same time, i-argue mo na, 97% ay nangyayari sa loob ng bahay. Then who are you calling out then? So ibig sabihin, you have to believe na yung mga kino-call out mo is naniniwalang ganon. And some of them may be a perpetrator do sa pambabastos sa mga babae. So if you agree on that, then you have to assume na it's happening in reality, not the way you argue it, but it is happening in reality na even yung mga tao, yung hindi nasa loob ng bahay is ginagawa yon. Second point, scientifically, alam natin, through evolution, ang lalaki is mas mataas yung sexual drive kaysa sa babae. Right? Okay. That's actually the propagation, survival of the fittest ni Darwin, right? So okay, that's the propagation. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung mga lalaki, they are actually, lagi sila naghahanap ng mate. So ngayon, here's my problem. Which one is more biological? The clothing or the sexual drive? Ngayon, if the sexual drive is biological for men, what should you do? Change their minds? No, it's biological. So you should risk manage on those people. Kasi siraulo na nga yung mga yun eh. Mga manyakis na nga yung mga yun eh. So, kung ang argument ni Gabe is we should call them out kasi yun lang yung way to fix them. No! I have an alternative. Kill them all. How's that? I think mas effective yung way ko kaysa sa call them out. Or, how about this? Ikulong silang lahat.
Sir, para lang po maka-maximize tayo ng time, can I at least respond to your last claim?
Hindi ko alam. I think yung important claim ko yung, ano ba, moderator, ano ba?
I think the last claim that you said was,
Wait.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
Kanina hindi ko alam na nakamute ako, kaya napasalita ako.
si Pinoy Extreme, do you have something to say ba? Or
No. I'll give
it's
the floor
Gabe na,
to
so
Pinoy.
it's Gabe's turn. So, yeah,
Okay,
right.
before we go to Pinoy Extreme, I
We can
think
start.
your followers would be happier if makapagsalita ka. But before you go ahead, you mentioned biology, no?
Yeah.
Sir Caio, that men are more sexual beings. Would you agree that women are also sexual beings?
Correct, yes.
So if women are also sexual beings, why are we not? Actually, ito. To put it more clearly, 67% of women reported that they are sexually not pleased by their husbands, and 64% of them resort to using their imagination. So I would argue that women are also sexual beings, if not more, because their needs are not almost always met. So why are we not seeing the same rates of sexual harassment to men and to women if they're both sexual beings?
No, it happens, pero lower percentage. Pero here's my problem with your claim, no? So gusto mong sabihin, gusto ko lang i-rebut yung sinabi mo sa husband and wife.
I'm trying to get back onto the point that men are sexual beings, correct?
Correct, yes.
And to say that, to use that as a justifying cause for their behavior, and to ignore completely the fact that women are also sexual beings, then we are going entirely on a tangent. Kasi tingnan mo, sir.
I'm sorry,
If
pero I'm not
women
justifying
are also-
it. I'm just describing it.
You know, banana. Anyway,
No.
If women are also sexual beings, shouldn't we be seeing the same rates to sexual harassment cases to men and to women?
Yeah, that's
Because they're also sexual beings.
Okay, that's why my
women
claim.
Women are not going around sexually harassing people. They are sexual beings. I would argue that they are far more imaginative than people would know. They have
Kaya nga
impulses too.
sabi
They
ko
are
give
sexual
more
beings.
sexually.
Mm.
'Di ba?
Okay.
More.
Yeah.
Hindi ko sinasabing only. So the problem is you're trying to mix again yung husband and wife. You don't have to be good at bed to actually get a woman pregnant. That's my idea do sa propagation of genes na biologically grounded. You don't have to be good at bed to get someone
So
pregnant.
because biology states that we cannot change men in their sexual drive, we should do nothing at all. And just keep telling women what to wear.
Again, you're mixing again the is and ought.
No, I'm not.
I'm just describing
I'm trying to follow
it.
your logical reasoning, sir. If you're saying that the biological aspect of a man overdrives or overshadows their capacity to think, their impulse control, just because they're more sexual beings, then we shouldn't do anything at all because they would always dominate. And
No,
my
that's-
side of
I'm
the aisle
sorry.
of trying to call, wait, sir, my side of the aisle trying to call out the other people would be utterly pointless because they're sexual beings anyway, and we should just focus on telling women what to wear.
I'm sorry, sabi mo kanina na sabi ko na walang gawin. Sabi ko nga, yung alternative na gusto kong gawin is more effective than sa gusto mong gawin. So, anong pagkakaiba ng gusto kong gawin sa gusto mong gawin? My proposition was, kill them all.
That I can agree with.
There it is. So, mas better yung sa akin kaysa sa gusto mo, right?
I mean, but we can't do that at all. Can we? Can we kill them all?
Well, sabi ko nga, ang ought ay nakalagay sa, grounded siya sa goal. Okay, you cannot actually
Yeah.
derive an ought from an is, kanina ko pa sinasabi. Yung dinidescribe
But if
kong
your
biological
goal-
underpinning
if your
is
goal
just a
to
description.
If your goal is to stop sexual harassment altogether and killing them would be the goal, then
No. That's not the goal.
What proposal are you trying to say instead? Kasi ang stance ko dito, sir, sa mga people from the side of the aisle, especially sa mga comment section ni Pinoy Extreme, saying that mas effective kasing sabihan mo na lang ang babae sa kung anong dapat niyang isuot. That's why I think Pinoy Extreme should also defend his stance so that we can both have a proper understanding.
Well, that's
Because
good, but
you're
you're not debating
speaking
them, you're
entirely for
debating me.
him. Yeah.
So, ang issue ko lang dito is, stop saying na, I'm saying na, don't solve it or, no, I'm just describing it. It's just a fact. It's just this description. I think you're mixing the two na what ought to be done and what is. Ako nakafocus ako sa is. I don't care kung anong gusto mong gawin kasi nakadepende naman yan sa goal mo.
Let's focus on what is, sir. Ano po ba yung is na na-experience ng kababaihan ngayon?
Yeah, the is there are sexually harassed. One factor of that is the revealing clothing or the conservative clothing dependent on the context. And the second is the sexual
Depending on the
the
context,
sexual
sir, meaning?
drive is more on men than women.
Question,
So,
sir.
that's
Depending
biology.
on the context, meaning,
Ano na?
I think you don't really have a leg to stand on when I've already clearly stated peer-reviewed studies by world organizations like CDC and UN stating that there is no positive causation and correlation between what you're wearing and how you're sexually harassed.
And I just gave you a few research,
Sir,
dude.
regardless of the context, regardless of the religious background of the country that where you stand, ang babae, regardless of what they wear, you cannot simply say that wearing something revealing is a factor, even if you put it on the context of a hooker. Let's say, for example, a hooker might dress revealingly. Paano pag wala siyang naakit?
No,
What
that's
I'm
not the
saying
question.
is, you cannot dispel
Wait,
the
can
fact.
I interrupt? Wait. So, wait.
Wait lang. Sige, go.
So, Gabe, can we just give a time for,
Pinoy Extreme. Yeah.
Alright.
yeah. Kasi, guys, yung kay nagtatanong kasi si Gabe kay Kayo, kaya I just let that 5 minutes go. And, meron bang sabihin si Pinoy Extreme?
So yeah, pwede ba may
I
isa
think
lang
our
akong
audience are
extra?
waiting for you,
May
Pinoy
isang
Extreme, I
statement
think.
lang ako and then Pinoy Extreme na. Kasi
Okay, no problem.
ang isang statement ko lang is, you keep saying this are peer-reviewed. I just give you a peer-reviewed as well. Ang daming peer-reviewed that
Which
there's a positive correlation. So,
Which one?
gusto mo, kabigay ko sa iyo ngayon lahat?
mean,
I can
that'd
give
be
it to you
cool.
now, if you want.
Well, that'd be cool. I mean,
Oh,
if you
Abby.
really dispel CDC and UN and the National Coalition for Women's Sexual Assault, that'd be great.
Ito. Oh. Faris et al. Clinical Psychology. Abby et al. Tsaka, 2011. Clothing, Victim Blame, 1992. Workman and Johnson. Ayan,
That seems
binigay ko sa
pretty
iyo lahat ng
outdated.
peer-reviewed. Okay na ako. Thank you.
Alright, cool. Pinoy, may gusto ka bang sabihin, Tol?
Ayun, well, yung studies kasi na binigay mo kanina, it's not going to be absolutely the only studies about sexual harassment that is related to dress. Okay? Now, there are multiple studies that also is saying that dress has a factor doon sa pagiging victim nila. And kung may bibigay si Kayo ngayon, well, ako rin naman meron akong maibibigay, but of course, the time is not now to actually process or read all of those
I mean, it'd be cool if you could give them. We're not here to disprove each other. I'm just trying to get where you're coming
Kaya nga,
from.
but
To get a better
again,
understanding.
kahit ibigay ko siya ngayon, anong magiging sense na ibigay ko? Wala namang magbabasa nun. But again, if you want those studies, okay, those could be given after this debate. But if we are going to pursue on those studies, the answer or yung tanging goal natin doon is may studies ba doon sa dress na yun? Kasi again, it's absurd to ask for those studies na hindi naman natin babasahin. Again, meron at meron yan.
Then,
No. Hindi natin mababasa yan ngayon. Ibigay natin yan ngayon sa screen. Sino magbabasa yan ngayon?
no, I mean, if you could just do what Caillou did, like cite some examples, I'd be very happy to listen.
Okay. Give me a second here.
I mean, without searching at least. I thought you should be prepared. I gave you a week, dude.
I don't memorize the titles of those, okay? That's not my style.
I think that's what separates you from Caillou and yourself.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
So-
So I think we can proceed with this. Do you have anything to say?
Well, let's continue.
All right. Cool. You don't have anything to say? I mean, it was...
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay guys, isa pa ulit. Kasi si Gabe is nagtatanong kasi siya, so I can't really So can we just reserve our, kasi di ba yung question sa uli kasi nagkaroon sila eh, so let's just
Okay.
other
let's,
people time.
let's go with the second claim.
Okay, please.
Can I just say that this is proving to be a little disappointing. At least I'm having fun with Kayo. I mean, I thought with the amount of content you created, I would at least expect a little bit more. But yeah, then again.
Oo.
Next.
Ad hominem na. Oo.
So
Claim number 2. Asking for self-accountability from women is just victim blaming in advance.
sino gusto mong mauna for
Again, asking for self-accountability from women is just victim blaming in advance.
Okay, ako una. Ako muna.
okay. So 5 minutes
We
ito
can give time to Pinoy Extreme, sir.
So-
Sayang
Oh,
naman.
sige, sige. Oh, di okay.
If tapos na kayo, just say na if you're done. So we can go to kasi hindi natin lang kung kailan kayo tapos or hindi. So your 5 minutes starts now.
Okay, well, how do you define self accountability muna? I'd like to know the definition of accountability doon sa sentence. Kasi baka magkaiba tayo ng accountability. Well, I'd like to know.
I mean, I based it from the videos that you post. Self-accountability merely states that if you dress
Yosi muna ako, guys.
accordingly and dress properly, modestly, then you're saving yourself from sexual harassment. I think that's what you, from what I understand, state as self-accountability.
Well, self-accountability means preparing yourself for the possible effects of what you're going to do. And again, based from the effect of wearing sexy dress, which is sexually attractive, the more probable thing that would happen or mangyayari sa'yo is you would attract people sexually. Okay? So, if you are going to be accountable for that, or at least know that that's going to be the probable effect of what you are going to do, which is goal-oriented, then how is that going to be a victim blaming in advance? If that's just a normal effect ng pagsusuot ng sexually attractive clothes, how is saying that you or your chances of being taken advantage of or being harassed is not going to happen? Diba? So that's just my claim.
Okay, so may sagot ba si Gabe? Let's just kasi may sinasabi kasi may sumasabat daw pag Let's just talk when we are being questioned. So if wag na tayo muna. So Gabe, we have 5 minutes.
So the claim is asking for self-accountability from women is just victim blaming in advance. I think to start off the question, what would you then say to the vast majority of women who are sexually harassed regardless of what they're wearing? Do they not have self-accountability?
Well, depends on the reason why how they are harassed, 'di ba? Again, harassment has different
Okay, wait lang. Bago ko makalimutan, para lang din mas maayos. Total, di ka pa naman din nakakapag-start. Can we both agree that regardless of the gender, sexual harassment carries the same weight?
yes.
Okay. Can we also agree that it happens across all genders, men and women?
Yes.
Okay, great. I think that if we're asking for self-accountability, that inadvertently shifts the blame kasi to the perpetrators. To the victims instead of the perpetrators. And the reason why I think it's victim blaming in advance is because kapag hindi ka nagsuot ng modest na clothes, kapag naharas ka, wala sa blame ang perpetrator because nga ginawa mo na yan. And then we set this society up for that kind of interaction between perpetrator and victims. So if sexual harassment happens across the board, regardless of the gender, and it carries the same weight, why are we focused on what people are wearing and not in what the perpetrators are doing? Bakit hindi tayo nagfo-focus dun sa ginagawa ng perpetrators, and then bakit natin nililipat yung focus, even if you say that you're not shifting the focus, which you are, bakit natin nilalagay yung focus dun sa sinusuot ng isang victim? Another percentage, there are 47% of male rape victims. If clothing did in fact matter, we would see a near zero, but we do. Yung bang 47% na yon, Pinoy, naka miniskirt ba sila tsaka crop top? Yung mga 47% na rape ng mga... by the way, 87% of those 47%, guess who the perpetrator was?
Time po ni Gabe, 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Guess who the perpetrator was for the 47% of men?
I don't know. Tell me.
Men. So men does not actually just harass women, they also harass men. And in fact, those numbers could be even higher, not just 47%, they could be a lot more higher due to underreporting because of the system of the patriarchy we have set to shame men that are coming out na nagka-come forward sa pagiging sexually abused. So, if we look at your reasoning and stating that clothing actually plays a hand in this sexual harassment shenanigan, hindi ba dapat mas mababa pa yung cases para sa lalaki, or in fact dapat wala na? Pero bakit meron? Yung bang mga suot ng mga lalaking yun, would you say na naka crop top sila tsaka naka mini skirts?
Well, because sexual harassment has different, triggers, I'd say. When I say triggers, again, that's why there are some animals that could be raped, some babies that could be raped, lola,
Exactly.
so on and so forth. So
Exactly.
again, wait lang, patapusin mo muna ako. Again,
It's still my time actually. It's still my
time
time.
to negate.
I'm just asking
teka lang nalalabuan ako. I did
Tol,
really
it's still
know
my time.
when is
I
my
mean,
time.
I'm just asking you a yes or no question.
Yun na nga yung sinasabi ko, nalalabuan talaga ako if it's my time or...
For the record, I
yes,
agree with Pinoy
Ang
Extreme.
time ni Gabe, so pag nagtatanong lang,
Aha.
pwede umano. So,
Can I get some of my time back since
Sure.
20 seconds, okay.
may 5 minutes ka kanina, hindi mo ginamit ng maayos, sayang naman, di ba? I mean, let's say for example, you're talking about the babies and the animals that were sexually harassed. Do you think those animals and those babies were wearing crop tops and mini skirts and bikinis?
No, because their triggers are different.
Different in what way?
Well, again, depende sa mismong perpetrator. Again, perpetrators have different attractive triggers. Like, for example, again, hayop, baby, lola, so on and so forth. Now, there are people who are triggered by sexy dresses, and those are different cases. So that's what I'm pointing at. I'm not pointing or discussing the triggers that happens during the baby, dun sa lola, dun sa hayop, dun sa estudyante, dun sa naka-office uniform. Those have different triggers.
Okay, so the 90s, let me finish with this, Ishi, and then I'm done. And then we could proceed with Kayo. So for the 97% of the sexual harassment cases that happen with women inside their homes, do you think that their clothing was also a factor where they were sexually harassed by their dads, their cousins, their brothers, their co-workers, and people that they know? I mean, you know awfully a lot about sexual triggers by perpetrators, and why are you not focusing your focus on building a platform in calling out these perpetrators instead of being so busy about calling out what women should do and should be wearing? I mean, it's only logical that if you do you know any struggles of women on a daily basis?
Well, it's irrelevant to know the struggles of women when you already know that dress is going to be a trigger.
I don't
That's
see
just
why it's-
simple. That's
I don't see
basic.
why it's irrelevant to not know the struggles of women, because if you are so passionate about talking to women and what they should be wearing, don't you think
Yes.
that you should have at least any idea of what they're going through?
I'm sorry to cut off Gabe, so next na tayo, 5 minutes. Sino? Pinoy Extreme, it's your time na, you have the floor. So, yeah, go.
Okay. So again, when you say accountability, you do not blame the person when something bad happens to them because of what they've done. But you look at it depende dun sa kung ano yung partisipasyon nila, kung ano yung pwede nilang magawa para maiwasan yung bagay na yun. Like for example, again, sa pagsusuot ng alahas sa public places, hindi kasalanan ng tao na ma-hold up siya doon sa palengke or sa kung anumang public places. But of course, wearing jewelry doon sa public places heightens the chances na ma-attract yung mga tao na gustong gawan siya ng masama or nang dahil doon sa alahas. And telling you that it's going to be riskier is different from saying that it's your fault or it's just deserve mong manakawan. Those are different things. Pinapalabo nyo kasi na oh hindi dahil biniblame ka namin nagsuot ka kasi ng alahas. No. What we are claiming is again your chances of being manakawan dahil nga nakaalahas ka goes higher. That's it. You don't mix or confuse accountability from victim blaming just because you tell them that your risk goes higher dahil lang sa hindi mo ginagawa or ginawa mo yung isang bagay. Those are two different things. But again, asking for accountability does not necessarily mean that you put the blame doon sa tao.
Okay, wait. So, let's just talk about teatro.
Can I respond for like a
Okay ba,
seconds?
no? Pinoy, can we...
Sure.
Alright. Do you know what the difference between jewelries and women are?
Well, both can have triggers when it comes to our topic of sexual harassment, right?
Do you know the difference between them?
Oh yes, of course. But again, both have triggers, right?
The difference is that jewelries cannot consent. Women can.
Well, the perpetrator does not need any consent.
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. They do not need any consent. So if your only argument
Exactly
stands
daw.
on an analogy that further objectifies women, that further proves that the
Ano daw?
only way that for you to see any type of concern for women is to compare them to an object. Why do you need to go there?
Exactly daw.
because again, lalabas yung objectification doon sa dress as part of objectification. Well, I've long sent you that kind of research. I don't know kung binasa mo. 1 year ago pa,
Sinend mo.
binigay ko na yun, dress as a part of objectification.
Anong sinend mo? Saan?
I don't know, yung mga video replies natin. Well, maybe you're not watching them.
Yeah, I'm not. I block you, remember?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, so anong difference ng men at ng women at saka ng clothes? The difference is that whenever someone gets stolen their jewelries, we don't necessarily tell the women or the person carrying the cash or the money, oh, ba't ka kasi it's like blaming the person for bringing a wallet. Why are we blaming a person for bringing a wallet or wearing jewelries?
Unless yung wallet nilagay mo sa noo mo para ipangalandakan marami kang pera.
Who do we look for? Who do we look for kapag merong nanakawan? Sinong hinahanap natin?
Yung magnanakaw, of course.
Yeah, this means it's still Pinoy extreme time, so let's give him more.
So,
Pero-
hinahanap natin yung
Yeah.
magnanakaw. So,
O kaya nga, pero tatanungin kita, bakit kasi nakaalahas ka sa isang public or sa palengke na alam mo naman madaling hablutin yung alahas mo, lalo na nasa marami kang tao.
I've already disproved that claim with the stranger danger. With your saying, you're telling the stranger danger analogy na pupunta ang isang babae sa isang risky place. 97% of women get sexually harassed inside their homes. Not outside, not in public spaces, not by strangers, but inside their homes and near their homes by people that they know. So you don't really have a leg to stand on.
Because that's not even the topic. Again, the topic in the first place is dress as a factor. Di ba? So
So if you're saying
that's a different. No. Wait lang. That's going to be a different topic. The people who gets harassed sa bahay. That's going to be a
But
different topic.
that's majority of the cases that we have for sexually harassment.
Eh di sana yan yung binigay mo nun.
You
Diba?
were just saying kanina
Oh,
lang na
because
bakit
that has a different
Kaya sabi mo lang,
triggers.
bakit ka kasi pupunta sa isang lugar na public space na nagsusuot ka ng alahas, correct? Yes or no? You just said that.
Sorry, pakiulit.
Kakasabi mo lang na bakit ka pupunta sa isang lugar na nagsusuot ka ng alahas na mamahalin sa
Oh,
public
what
space.
gives?
You said that, correct?
Yeah, what gives?
That's under the assumption that women don't already know the risk that they face. Because, like I said, 97% of women are harassed not in public spaces, not by strangers, but by people they know. So, saan nanggagaling yung analogy mo na ba't ka pupunta sa risky place? That's viewing women from the perspective that they don't really know what they're doing. Do you know what they're going through on a daily basis?
Because that's not even part of the topic anymore. Ang layo na natin doon sa main topic.
Excuse me, ano tayo?
That's not part of the topic.
Gabe.
No, that claim, that subtopic is just given right now.
It's part of the topic. Women's
Part of that. Well,
I mean, dude,
Oh,
you can laugh all you want, but you're proving to be very disappointing for your audience.
Okay. Does Kayo have something to say?
Yeah, a lot.
Kanina lang kasi, I asked,
Please sabihin lang ako kay Kayo, Ishi. I hope that you make it good, sir. I mean,
so yun nga, kanina kasi I asked Pinoy Extreme if he wants Gabe to talk, so baka sabihin na naman sumasabat, gano'n. So yun lang, tinanong ko si Pinoy Extreme if gusto niya to have So now, 5 minutes to Kayo. And if you have a question to Gabe, and Gabe, if you want to answer, just please, wag ka muna, you can, ask.
Okay, unang-una, no, pwede na mag-start?
Yes, go.
Okay. Unang-una, ang masasabi ko lang sa claim, asking for self-accountability from women is just victim blaming in advance. Unang-una masasabi ko is badly phrased, non-sequitur, conflation, categorical error. Why? How can you ask self-accountability from women if they're not a victim yet? Okay, it seems to me, ang sinasabi ni Gabe is asking self-accountability from the victim of sexual harassment. Is that correct, Gabe?
sort of, sir, pero what I'm saying is, kaya nga nilagay ko yung specifier dito na victim blaming in advance. Because even if they're not yet victims, you're already making it seem like they're a victim based on the premise that you're asking them what to wear and they should wear modestly.
But that's
why
begging the
sinabi ko,
question.
in
Parang
advance.
you're trying to prove na they are a victim already by saying that they are a victim already. Parang ganito, tama ba na they are a victim because you're blaming them? You are blaming them because they're a victim, tama ba? That's the very definition of begging the question,
No, sir.
Gabe.
What I'm saying is that, sir, are you asking a question or nagtatanong po ba kayo or hindi?
Nagtatanong ako na, isn't that a begging a question? Kasi sabi mo, I'm actually asking for self-accountability from women kahit hindi pa sila victim. How is that possible if they're not a victim yet? How can I victim blame them?
I mean, I'm not the one asking for self-accountability here, sir.
No, your question.
Pinoy Extreme is.
That's why I'm saying your question is badly formed.
How is it badly formed? I just based it on Pinoy Extreme's ideologies.
No, I'm sorry, pero you're asking me, ang sinasabi ko lang, it's actually badly formed because how can I actually do the victim blaming if they're not a victim yet? So, pag sinabi kong self-accountability from women, all I'm saying is, women, if you go at night, you do revealing dress, then be warned. You have to be careful. That's it. So, they're not a victim yet. So, how can I blame the victim if they're not a victim yet? That's begging the question. So, okay, let me ask you a question na lang. Okay, why do you wear dress, Gabe? Why
Because I feel good.
you feel good? That's it. That's the
Yeah,
only
I wanna
reason
look- I
why
wanna
you
look good,
feel
I wanna
good.
look presentable. I wanna look good. I wanna feel good. I wanna look presentable. I wanna be presentable among my peers, regardless if they see me on a shirt, they see me on a jacket. I wanna feel good.
Okay, isn't naked feeling good and presentable?
Sorry, sir?
Is being naked, is that presentable? Is that looking good or what?
Of course, I wouldn't go anywhere else naked, and I'm sure that women wouldn't go anywhere naked.
Pero why not?
Why would you?
No. I'm asking you, why not?
Because you cannot just go anywhere naked.
Of
There are
course you
dress
can.
codes. You do not go to a church wearing a bikini. You do not go to a funeral wearing
Wait.
a red shirt because that would state that you're happy. I
Okay,
don't
okay.
understand your line of questioning.
Okay, so sabi mo kanina you don't go to church wearing a bikini. Why not?
Because there are dress codes implied, sir.
Okay,
I mean, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue in semantics here. If that's what
no,
you're doing.
that's not semantics. I don't think you understand semantics. Ito, okay. So, ang sinasabi mo is, okay, it depends on the context. That's why you wear dress, right?
Exactly. That I can agree with.
Okay,
I think that's a middle ground that I can agree with. I think no rational human being would ever go to a church or a funeral or a party wearing inappropriate clothes according to the dress code. I
So-
think any normal human being, while there are still cases that people don't necessarily follow that, I think generally speaking, people follow dress codes.
Okay, granted. Thank you for that. Pero, do you have dress codes in your home?
No, we don't.
Do you go around naked in front of your daughter?
I'd prefer not.
Why not?
Why? What do you mean? Why not? Because that's
Well,
what I prefer. That's
well,
my
kanina,
preference.
justification mo
I don't
for
want to
not...
stand in front of.
Yeah.
I
Kanina,
don't want to stand. I don't want to stand in front of. You're asking me a question. I hope you let me finish.
okay, go ahead.
Perfect. You're asking me why I should not dress in front of my daughter naked. I mean, that's my preference. I'd rather not my daughter see me naked. I'd rather not see anyone inside the home naked.
Excuse me.
It's not the-
Sorry to interrupt. So, Gabe, this is your rebuttal na. So, this is your 5 minutes. I will give you the 5 minutes.
Yeah, sure. Ayun, sir. I don't really understand where. I think it's a leading question. So I hope you lead to your point because you're dilly-dallying, sir.
No, okay, kasi my only point is, sabi mo kanina, ang justification mo was, you don't go to church na naka-bikini because there's dress code, right? Okay, let's remove the dress code then.
Yes.
You don't have the dress code in your home, but you don't go running around naked in front of your daughter. Why not? Kasi you prefer not to, so it depends.
Yes. What do you mean it depends?
Kasi ang sabi mo lang
I
is,
really
you
wish
don't
would go
prefer.
to your point instead of going in circle questions.
No,
because
it's
I've
not
already
circle.
stated
I
my
think
answers.
you're making a self-defeating statement here. That's begging the question.
How
That's
is
my
it
point kanina pa.
self-defeating?
It is
How is it
self-defeating.
self-defeating?
Kasi sabi mo, clothing has nothing to do with anything. But you prefer
Yes.
not to be naked in front of your daughter because the reason is you don't prefer to do it. How is that?
So
How is
just
that a
because
justification?
So just because I support women wearing whatever they feel comfortable with, I should then dress nakedly?
No, why not? My question is why not?
Because I don't want to. And same as true with women who does not want to follow certain types of instructions from men that does not understand their struggles. I think you're conflating the two things together, sir.
Well,
Not
which one?
because
Ano yung
I
kinoconflate ko?
advocate-
Thank you.
Wait lang. I'm advocating for, not because I'm advocating for these things, ibig sabihin, I should subscribe to it and do it myself. Hindi naman po dahil sinasabi kong, yung mga babae, regardless of what you're gonna wear, you will get sexually harassed. So I might as well focus my attention to talking to men. Not because I say that, I should then proceed about my day going naked. So,
No, that
bakit ako
doesn't apply
napuhubad
because
dahil
I'm
lang
talking to a man,
pinaglalaban ko
right?
yung karapatan ng babae? Ano?
That doesn't apply because you said we should talk about what men do or should do, pero
Yeah.
yung sinasabi mo, yung argument mo ngayon is about women. I'm not talking to a woman, I'm talking to a man. Why are you not naked in front of your daughter?
Like I said, sir, it's not something that I prefer. Why
Why
would you
not?
want me to? It's not. You keep asking the same question, sir. It's
Because
not
you're not
something
answering
that I
it.
prefer. I am answering it, sir, but you want to lead somewhere else. That's what you're doing.
No, I want to know your
I-
reason.
because it feels uncomfortable to be naked in front of your daughter.
Okay, the more you become naked, it becomes more, uncomfortable?
Sir, I think a lot of the people in the comment sections are not really following with what you're asking.
No, but I'm debating you, not them. So my question is, why not? Say mo you don't feel comfortable in front of your daughter
Yeah.
being naked. So, why?
Because it's not something that you do with your daughter, sir. Do you
But you
stand
can do it, right?
naked in front of your daughter? Naguhubad po ba kayo sa tapat ng anak ninyo?
Well, I don't have a daughter. That's why that's not my problem.
Perfect. So, do you stand naked in front of your baby?
No,
or
but
your
you're not
child?
answering my question.
Sir, but I'm asking you the same question you're asking me. Why would I do it? Because I'm not. Why would I not do it? Because I'm uncomfortable. I don't like it. Do you
Okay,
stand
okay.
naked in front of
So,
people?
klaruhin ko lang. Ang sinasabi mo, di mo ginagawa, it's because unang-una, ayaw mo and you don't feel comfortable, right?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
When you say you don't feel comfortable, in what sense? Because malamig ba? Ano ba? Masyado bang malamig? Naka-aircon ka? Ganun ba?
To whatever reason that I feel uncomfortable, I don't see why that's any of your business, sir.
Oh, okay. So it's a private thing for a man not to be naked in front of her daughter and ask the reason why. So that's a private thing. Okay, okay na ako. Thank you.
I don't really understand the point of your questioning, sir. I mean, you were asking me, why would I not be naked in front of my daughter? Do you perhaps do that?
In front of my son? Yes.
Like nakedly?
Yeah. Sabay pa nga kami maligo.
That's cool. That's cool. I used to do that with my dad as well.
Oh, exactly.
But I don't get why you're what does it relate to the topic?
What do you mean? What does it relate to the topic? Because you said,
How does it relate to the topic?
what do you mean? Di ba clothing ang iniisip natin? Di ba? So ibig sabihin, you just prove the less clothing you have, you become uncomfortable with that. To the point that you become naked, correct?
You're taking a specific context from what I'm saying and then applying it on a general sense.
No, I'm not.
Guys, sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Okay. So, nagaan tayo na ano. So, this Pinoy Extreme has something to say about that.
Well, I'm good.
Okay, so now, it's Gabe's time. You can continue, but now it's Kayu's time. So, if you just allowed to talk by Kayu, kung alam pwede man, Kayu ba pangalan? Tama. So, go.
Wait, anong gagawin?
I know it's still the same yung pinag-uusapan niyo, but now it's your time, so you can if you want if gusto niyo siyang tanungin, you can
Yes,
answer.
sir. I mean, you didn't really use your time on making any statements.
So-
You just asked me if I was naked in front of my
yeah.
daughter. Which was
So,
rather uncomfortable.
ibig sabihin, time ko ulit?
No, it's yung kanina si Gabe yun, so you ask Gabe asks you a question, you answer, and you debate back and forth. Now it's your time, and now it's your decision if you want to ask Gabe,
Okay.
if you want to go back and forth, and so yeah.
Okay, Gabe, kasi yung ang pinag-usapan natin is women's clothing a factor sa sexual harassment, correct?
No, sir. We're at claim you're rather confused. Asking for self-accountability. For
No,
women
but
is
the
just
main,
victim
that's the
blaming in advance.
hindi sinabi, actually, na-remove ko na nga yan kasi sabi ko nga, there's a problem with your question, right? Sabi mo kay Pinoy Extreme yan.
I mean,
Okay,
you can't
then you
just
ask him.
remove any question just because you deem it so, sir.
No, I just
you
prove
can't
it.
just remove any claim just because you deem it's unnecessary. You're not the master of
I just,
debate.
no,
We're
I just
actually
disprove
here.
it. Okay.
You're actually here.
Okay.
You
So
disprove it how?
I just prove it kanina. It's a non sequitur because that's a begging the question to say na I'm actually asking a woman for self accountability while they're not a victim yet. Okay, how can I victim blame them?
That's why I put the specifier here, sir. Do you want me to put it bigger? Blaming in advance, sir. Victim blaming in advance. Are you not seeing this, sir?
Perhaps I cannot do that.
Because, sir, kagaya nga ng sinabi ko, the reason why it's victim blaming in advance is because you're rather shifting the blame onto them in advance rather than holding the men in your circle or people that you know accountable.
Yeah, but it doesn't
Because
follow nga.
Because the focus then shifts the blame to the woman if they do get sexually harassed.
But that doesn't follow nga. O, bigyan kita ng example, bigyan kita analogy. Pag sinabi kong the cup is hot and then napaso yung customer, am I blaming them?
How is a cup any same with clothing, sir?
No, because it runs with the same logic. Kasi it seems to me na
It
gusto
does
mong
not apply
sabihin,
to the same
dahil I
logic.
give a warning, like, if you go at night with revealing clothes, be careful. Okay, if you are careful, kapag kami nangyari sing ganyan, it seems to me na sinasabi mo sa akin, nag-victim blame ako. I'm not.
But you are doing it in let's say for example, sir, a person who was dressed modestly or revealingly, ang isang batang or ang isang babaeng sinabihan mo na wag siyang magsusuot ng ganito ganyan. Tapos nagsuot pa rin siya ng ganito ganyan. And
Okay.
then they end up getting sexually harassed.
Okay.
What do you then say to them?
Oh, of course,
What's
I'm
your
not gonna
reaction?
blame them because ultimately, the perpetrator is the one to blame. Ultimately.
Perfect.
But,
Perfect. I think
but,
that we can come to an
pero you are conflating two things. Kasi, unang-una,
I'm not conflating two things.
if a woman is being victimized with sexual harassment, you don't tell them na, ikaw ikaw may kasalanan yan. You don't do that in reality. You just keep silent, but pwede mo sabihin na, well, I told you so.
and saying I told you so is not victim blaming, sir?
No, it's not. Sinasabi ko lang na I was right. How is
So
that
you would rather be
victim
right
blaming?
than to actually pursue the perpetrator
No,
instead of,
that doesn't follow kasi I'm being right is separated from what happened to her because I gave that
so
warning.
being right matters more than what happened to them.
O ganito, let's do it legally. Kapag may warning yung isang bagay and then you do it anyway, can they sue you?
Ano, sir?
Can they sue you?
Yes, definitely.
Kahit may warning na?
Kapag ginawa mo, ano po yung bagay na yan, sir? Masama po ba or maganda?
Like for example, ito nangyari mismo to sa McDonald's, right? Dati yung cup nila walang nakalagay na hot. Ngayon meron na. They were sued
Yes.
back then because walang warning na hot. Okay, kapag
Yes.
may nakalagay na warning na hot and then napaso sila, then can you actually sue McDonald's?
No, you can't.
Okay, good. So ibig sabihin kapag nagbigay ako ng warning, how can you say na I'm victim blaming if I say I told you so? I already warned you about
Because,
that.
sir, instead of actually focusing your attention onto the perpetrator, you're far too focused on wanting to be right.
No,
I told you so.
See, ito yung problema sa'yo. Dichotomous yung thinking mo eh. It seems to me,
It's not really dichotomous, sir.
it is. Black and white yung thinking mo. Parang sinasabi mo is ganito.
not really.
It's either sisihin ko yung perpetrator o yung babae. No, they can...
So who should we rather blame, sir?
No.
Sino po i-blame natin?
I'm saying that's a false dichotomy. Can you blame both?
Sino po dapat yung i-blame natin, sir?
No, can you
Sino?
blame both? Pero mas mataas yung sa ultimate na pwede mo i-blame.
We cannot blame both because the clothing
No,
is not any
logically.
factor.
I'm not saying I'm not saying
were-
your feelings.
They're a victim, sir.
Yeah.
They're sexually harassed.
Okay.
Sir, you're saying that we should
Let me
put blame
rephrase.
on both.
So, wait.
Let me rephrase. Okay? So, ang tinatanong ko lang is logically, may option bang pangatlo o wala? Kapag ilalagay natin sa Venn diagram yan, mutually exclusive ba na sisihin mo yung nagharas at saka yung babae? Mutually exclusive ba yun o hindi?
Paano po mutually exclusive, sir?
Kapag sinisi mo isa, hindi mo na pwede sisihin yung kabila. Kapag sinisi mo yung kabila, hindi mo na pwede sisihin yung kabila.
Hindi po natin dapat sinisisi
No,
victim,
wala akong sa
period,
dapat.
sir.
Kasi sabi ko yung options.
Regardless of the option, sir, we shouldn't be
No.
focusing
I'm
the
asking
blame
kasi
on the
you
victim.
offered two options, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, you offered two options. The problem is,
Sir, let
those
me
are not
ask
the
you
only
this then,
options.
Sir. If the sexual harassment then happens, who should we rather blame, sir?
Sinabi ko na nga ito, ultimately the perpetrator. You're not gonna say na,
Yes.
kasalanan mo kasi, in reality, you already warned the person, she did it. Of
Sir,
course, you're not gonna
you're
blame
talking
her
about
anyway kasi
reality.
siya na
Should
yung
I-
victim eh.
You're talking about reality, Sir Caio. Would you
Yeah.
rather me show you my comment section and what they say when I talk about these kinds of topics?
Pero yan yung argument ko kanina eh. Ang argument ko
You're
kanina,
saying-
kung may ganyang klaseng comments sa sinasabi mo, and then you have to grant na may maganyang tao talaga, right? Pero kanina, ina-argue mo sa loob ng bahay. So okay, sino pala yung kino-call out mo? Kung bagagato, ito lang yung ano ko sa'yo, Gabe. Kino-call out mo yung mga
Yeah.
tao sa comment section, right?
Yes, sir?
Okay, do you believe na naniniwala sila na kapag revealing yung clothes ng babae, they deserve na mabastos o ma-sexually harass?
I think there's a vast majority of men in my comment section, clearly from Pinoy Extremes community, believing that's so, sir.
Okay, believing to the point that they will do it.
Do what, sir?
Yung sexual harassment mismo.
Not necessarily.
Okay, so ibig sabihin, hindi nila ginagawa sa action nila na nagsasexually harass sila, pero sa
Yes.
isip nila, as a belief nilang sinasabi mo, is sinasabi niya na sisihin mo yung, i-blame mo yung babae. Tama ba?
Yes, sir. I think we have a plenty data set to prove that.
So,
You just
okay.
go to my comment section.
So ibig sabihin, ang sinasabihan mo pala talaga dito is yung hindi yung mga taong nasa comment section.
Are
Why?
we
Because
really
they don't
about
have
to
effect
argue
in
about
reality.
semantics?
They don't have effect in reality kasi nasa isip lang nila, right?
How do they not have it? Sige, sir. There was a study that the victim blaming culture further perpetuates sexual harassment about 42% more when there's victim blaming culture present in the country. So yes, it does have an effect in reality.
No, it doesn't.
That's the reality that it does have a effect to reality, sir. If we have a community or a country wherein we are far more focused on telling women what to wear rather than holding each other accountable, the numbers go up. And there have been studies in multiple mini cities and little municipalities where victim blaming culture goes down, sexual harassment goes down as well. So if you're saying that there is no effect to reality, yung sinasabi ng mga taong, kasalanan mo, I think that's completely ignorant, sir, of the reality that you claim to know so well.
No, I know the reality, ikaw yung nagdi-deny. Kasi you said,
I'm not denying it, sir.
okay,
I'm not denying it.
so you agree na it's happening in reality na they are being sexually harassed because of their clothing. Do you agree with that?
No, sir, because there is
There you go. You're
there is
writing
a plenty
fiction.
data set, sir, there is a plenty data set, sir, that proves that no correlation is in between what you're wearing and how you're sexually harassed. And
I thought
like
you said, ulitin
if
natin
you
yung sabi
look
mo
at
kanina.
if you look at the data set provided by UN and CDC, the children or
Ano wala?
the women that reported harassed inside their homes, they were wearing, pambahay. Yan, sir. Hindi naman po
Ulitin natin yung sinabi mo kanina, ha? Let me just rewind.
Do we
Let
have
me just
time?
rewind.
Ishi?
Let me just rewind. Yung sa sinabi mo. Sabi mo kanina, may effect yung comment because of sexually harassed because of those people na nagko-comment, right? Kung sinasabi mo may papasok sa reality at may nangyari sa reality,
have an
then you have
effect,
to agree
sir,
that
wait.
it's true. Nakikita mo yung
It
self-defeating
does have
statement
an
mo?
effect to the society, sir, because it's the culture that's being perpetuated. It's the culture that's being welcomed. Na you
What's
can't
that culture?
You can't just ignorantly say that it does not have an effect to the lives of the women.
Okay, but what's
Sir,
that culture?
Kaya nga po lagi kong sinasabi, if the culture of victim blaming, sir, deeply rooted in our patriarchy.
Okay. Then,
Are you
ano
are
sa
you
naglilidyan
going
ka
to
mo?
tell me that it does not happen?
No.
sir? It does
Gusto
not
ko yung
happen.
argumento mo. Sabi mo naglilid yan ka mo sa something. Ano yung sa naglilid yan?
Ano pong naglilid?
Sabi mo kasi victim blaming kanina kasi may mga tao na nagsasabi na because of the revealing clothing, ganyan-ganyan, they should be blamed, blah blah blah, right? Okay, sabi ko sa iyo, tinanong kita, okay, may effect sila ba yung gumagawa niya mismo o hindi? Kasi what's the point of your calling out? Sabi mo, not necessarily na ginagawa nila, but nasa comment section, they have an effect with reality, right?
The point of me calling out these individuals, sir, is that so hopefully in this lifetime or the next, we can see a change in our society.
What
that
change?
You and your daughters and my future daughters would hopefully experience in the future.
I'm confused. Sabi mo,
Because realistically
ano yung change natin?
wait lang, sir. Realistically speaking, sir, even if I advocate for change here in this society, we're not gonna see any change. That I can agree with you. Realistically speaking, almost certainly,
No, we can
I
kill
am
them
not
all
gonna
if
see
you
the
want.
change that I
Let's
wait
do
lang,
it.
sir. I'm not gonna see I'm not gonna see the change that's happening that I want to happen in this
Nawala.
society. Emergency. Wait lang. Let's bring up our backup moderator. Wait lang. We have a backup moderator. I'm loving this, sir. I wish we had this conversation earlier.
I told
think
you.
you are someone I can actually have a conversation with. Your ally not so much is proving a little disappointing.
Bahala na kayo dyan.
Oh, hindi, syempre dami niyang ginawang content. Nag-expect pa naman ako. Wait lang. Hintayin natin si...
Paano naman kasi kami makakasabat? Yung claim 1, 2, 3, 4, ngayon lang namin nabasa yan.
I mean...
Ano? What? Pumunta na lang ako out of goodwill.
I mean, praise to you. I mean, go. I think the only good thing you've ever done so far is laugh. I think Kayu's been really great at proving his points. I love the conversation. I think your comment section is rather also disappointed with you, might I add. Wait lang. Wait lang, sir, ha? May emergency lang si Ishi. Let's take a 5-minute break.
5-minute Yossi break.
Yes, hindi po ako nag-Yossi. Go lang, sir. Proceed with your Yossi. Ay, sir, might I ask, taga South po ba kayo, North?
South.
Geographically.
Imus, Cavite.
Cool. I'll hit you up when I'm there.
Alright. Yossi break muna ako, guys, ha.
Sir, am I actually doing a okay job trying to let you speak? Kasi alam ko things hindi heated. I'm trying my best to not interrupt. But our thoughts could often overlap. So I'm trying my best to mute and mute.
Actually, okay lang kasi dalawang ginagawa ko, cellphone tsaka camera. Nakatapat yung phone sa mic mismo. Kasi hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin dito sa TikTok, eh.
Cool, sir. Wait lang po, ha. Nagka-emergency lang daw talaga si Ishi. Wala na din yung backup moderator natin. Salamat po sa 22,000 na nanonood sa atin ngayon. Sa mga supporters ni Kayu dyan sa YouTube, maraming salamat, Sir Kayu, sa pagpapaanya. Anong Tagalog ng pagtanggap? Pagtanggap ng ating invitation sa ating live debate. Hintayin lang natin tong si moderator. So cool, man. Don't you just love this? Moments like this, going back and forth.
I think, Gabe, you should do a lot of things, a lot of this in the future.
Yeah, like I've been pretty consistent, sir, to what I've been saying. I think I mentioned this in 3 live streams so far, that with you, I think I've mentioned this 2 times, 3 times. You're the type of uncle I could actually go grab a drink with. I think your ally is actually sayang, eh.
No,
Kasi,
I can have a drink with him too. Joke.
not for me. It's not.
Of course, everyone can have a drink with everyone. It's always issue, hindi tao.
Malay mo.
Sir, unfortunately, parang hindi na yata makakabalik si...
Sige, ako na mag-moderate sa inyong dalawa.
Wait lang. Let me just ask my wait lang. No, it's fine, sama may pupunta. Okay, sige. Wala na talaga si
Ako lang mag-moderate.
Wala na talaga si... No, you're good, sir. You're good.
I think we're done na rin naman, di ba? May claim 3 pa pala, no?
Oo, sana. Kaso I think we've touched on everything naman na.
Okay, so kayong dalawa na lang. Huwag na lang kayo mag-away.
Di naman ako nangaaway.
Well,
I'm just-
wala,
So very
feeling ko wala rin akong masasabi din sa claim 3 because again, I do not know.
Wag na kayo mag-away. Ako yung uncle nyo. Hoy!
Okay, unfortunately, we have to end the debate here since yung claim 3 related naman din siya sa 1 and 2 and I think we've tackled...
Tsaka wala na rin yung
we've
moderator
tackled-
Wala
na din yung moderator.
Okay.
So, I hope sa lahat po ng mga nanood, both from the sides of Caillou, from Pinoy Extreme, and from my side, I hope that we gave you a good conversation, a good entertainment for all of you. But I would like to put a premise that I think overall this is a little pointless since we're all grown-ass men talking about what women should do. I think that's my central belief about this, that we should all channel our energy and our focus holding each other accountable and not holding women accountable because we know nothing of their struggles. I think it's important that we try to raise a new generation of men who are actually respecting and understanding and empathic of what women go through instead of actually just so busy proving a point. Salamat po sa mga nanood. Thank you so much po.
Tapos na yata, guys.
Sir Gayo, chat kita after.
Okay.
Alright, thanks for your time, both of you. Maraming
Tapos na
salamat.
yata, guys. Chat niya daw ako. God bless inyo lahat. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.